We begin today at 4 with breaking news out of Fall River. Unspeakable tragedy at an assisted living facility in that city. Thank you for joining us. I'm John DeLuca. 9 people are dead, dozens injured after that horrific fire. A family notification center has been set up at St. Anne's Hospital for family members desperate to find out what is happening with their loved ones. That is set up inside of the chapel at the hospital, which you can get to through the emergency entrance. You can also call the number you see there on your screen, 508-674-5741. All right, let's get right out to ABC 6 News anchor Tiffany Murphy, who joins us now live from Fall River. Tiffany.
Hey, good afternoon, John. Yeah, tragedy indeed. Overwhelmed, understaffed, a tragedy that could have been prevented, and a travesty. Those are the words that were spoken to me today by multiple Fall River firefighters. One of those men we spoke with today, the president of the local firefighters union, he came in last night. He was here just 10 minutes after the call for help came in. He was off duty. He came in a t-shirt and shorts. He ran into the burning building trying to save as many people as he could. He said this is the worst tragedy when it comes to loss of life inside of a fire in the Bay State in the last 40 plus years. He said it's the worst scene that he has ever witnessed.
We have been plagued with manpower shortages. We should be running with 4. We only run with 3. Had we had 4 persons on each apparatus as we're supposed to, we would have had an extra 8 firefighters on duty, and we could have extricated more of these people, and we may have had a better outcome for some of the victims.
There were 70 residents who lived at Gabriel House. Those residents that did survive, they now need a place to live. Earlier in the day, we heard from Governor Healy, who was on the ground here in Fall River, offering the support of her administration.
I'm heartbroken for the individuals who perished in this, and I'm heartbroken for their families and for their friends and loved ones. I'm just so grateful that the teams were able to act so quickly, so swiftly, and were it not for that, we would have seen an even an unimaginable loss of life here, given the vulnerability of this population.
Yeah, many of those residents were special needs today, many of them in wheelchairs in this 3-story building. Again, earlier today, we also spoke with Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan, who talked about trying to find a place for those who need a place to live now that did survive the flames last night.
And this is the kind of thing you don't want in the middle of July, Sunday night, and the city explodes around a tragedy like this. It's not good for anybody, but with the right people in place, you're able to maintain a level of control and a level of safety for all the residents. As you can see, this didn't spread anywhere. They kept it in that wing as best they could. It was more the smoke, as the chief pointed out, and these guys up and down the street did a great job last night.
So I think it's really important to mention that we spoke with Mayor Coogan before we talked to the firefighters union this afternoon. Again, firefighters say the department has been understaffed for years. We have reached out to Mayor Coogan's office for comment. We are waiting to hear back, though, still tonight at 4. Also important to note, the president of the local firefighters union, he told me he did hear fire alarms when he got to the scene last night. We are not sure if the sprinkler system was working or if there was one. We have reached out to the city of Fall River. We've requested inspection reports, and tonight we are still waiting to hear back. And back out here live on the scene, still a very active scene behind me. You see they've spent the day boarding up many of these windows. We know that that fire originated just on the side of this building just behind us. The smell of smoke still incredibly strong here in the air almost 24 hours later. Earlier today, just moments before we went on air, I spoke with a woman whose mom was on the first floor. She was rescued from the flames last night. She is at Rhode Island Hospital right now. Her name is Brenda Hurley Cropper. She's just 63 years old. Her daughter told me right now more than 50% of her body was badly burned. She's in organ failure, and her daughter is asking for prayers from her mom while the family gathers at her bedside. They're remembering Brenda as a woman that was vivacious, goofy, full of life and who loved her grandkids and her family. And I'm joined by news anchor Ryan Medeiros right now, who's been at the scene as well, speaking with survivors and about their stories.
Yeah, we continue to hear some of those incredible survivor stories, Tiffany. You can hear from this woman who says her father actually called her as he was trapped in his room.
I says, open your bathroom window. He says, it is open, but they're not hearing me. They're not hearing me, Melanie. I'm going to die in here. And I'm like, please don't say that. Please don't. Like, try to fight it. Get on the floor. Stay low so you're not breathing in the smoke. And he was coughing and choking. Like he was breathing in all that smoke. I don't even know how low he was on the floor or whatever, but they eventually did bring him out, and I'm so forever grateful for that.
Now that man did make it out, with his story backing up the idea that smoke was the real killer here. Another survivor describes those same hectic moments inside the building.
I went to my apartment door, my room door. I opened it, and all the smoke from the hall went right in my face, and all that I could do was just stand there and choke. And I thought it was going to be the end of everything.
We also stopped by the Tomeo Center off Bay Street today, where many families are reuniting. I spoke with a woman who says she lived at the Gabriel House for 5 years and believes she lost several of her friends in the fire. She says she's devastated, but not surprised.
The inability to care about a person they are responsible for was depressing. It enrages me. It really, there was no need for those people to die. No need. They didn't have to die. There just was neglect, absolute neglect from the ownership there of not care.
What sort of steps do you think could have been taken specifically to prevent something like this from happening?
Well, I think one of the things they could have done, first of all, was have a fire drill. 5 years never had a fire drill. Never had a fire drill. Had no idea how to get people out of there. I mean, first of all, they could have figured out how do we get... You come into a facility, you're wheelchair bound, and you're put on the 3rd floor. What sense does that make?
And now, Tiffany, I spoke with Donna again, and she says she's lived here 5 years. Incredibly, last night was the first time in the 5 years she's lived here at the Gabriel House that she did not sleep here. She slept over a family member's house last night. She thanked God, really, for not being here. Said it was a blessing that she just happened to last night, over 5 years, the one night she slept at a family member's house. Now, of course, with thanking God, she's very grateful she's alive, but she also said she is incredibly angry. She spoke about the owners and the neglect they had, according to her, at the building here. She said there was a lot of electrical issues. The air conditioners didn't work properly. The elevator for a good while did not run properly. So a lot of questions that have to be answered. We did reach out to the owners tonight for comment, but have not yet heard back.
Right, and the state fire inspector is on scene. They are trying to pinpoint where this fire began. And I spoke with completely different people that you did, Ryan, and they echoed the same sentiment that the elevator was often broken. And so folks that were wheelchair bound on the 2nd or 3rd floor were not able to get down even when there wasn't a fire. So we have a lot of questions, and we're hoping to get those answers to you tonight. Also, those firefighters that we spoke with today said that they were going in. The captain, the fire captain himself, was going in 40 minutes after that call came in, and they were still finding bodies on the floor and trying to pull people out that were unconscious. So incredibly harrowing stories coming in tonight. We'll leave it there for now and toss it back to you in the studio, John.